Aloha and welcome to the Solar Coaster live show here for Hawaii Energy Conference 2021. We've got a great show today with Bob King from Pacific Biodiesel. How are you today, sir?
Doing great.
Now, Bob, I'm so excited to talk with you. I just told you a funny story about me going out to the sunflower field and trying to get a picture of or a video of them heliotroping throughout the day. I discovered after the fact that they don't exactly heliotrope as flowers. So
that's right.
We were out there for hours on end from 0400 going, well, I think I see them moving. I think I see them following the sun. No dice, Josh. Thank you, by the way, for doing great work and having an amazing company. And we have had Kelly on in the past, and it's been so wonderful to learn about biodiesel from you all. So tell me a little bit about your company. Let's just introduce yourself to start out with, huh?
Yes, thank you. Great to be here. Bob King, president of Pacific Biodiesel. And we've been 25 years in business now, making biodiesel in Hawaii, and built a dozen plants in other places around the world. And but now, in the last 5 years, we've focused strictly on Hawaii and trying to get things to the next level and make our home a better place.
That is what it's all about. And we're going to get to that in this conversation, understand what your plans are. I understand you have a proposal out there right now called the Agriculture for Food and Energy to Grow Hawaii's Diversified Economy. And I hope we can touch on that in a moment. I really want to understand and help the listeners understand what your perspective is with biodiesel. How does biodiesel fit into the new energy economy, the renewable energy revolution? We know about solar. We understand batteries and storage are coming down the pipeline, and they're more and more being deployed. There's all kinds of great tech out there. What about biodiesel? How does it fit in?
Yeah, thanks. Biodiesel really, I think of it as the gold standard of renewable energy because it's so diverse, so versatile, diverse, and you can store it easily in regular tanks. Use it when you want to. Run both mobile and power generation equipment with it. That said, we don't want to waste biodiesel like we've been wasting fossil fuel. And so the challenge is really where is that place for biodiesel in the future, and how should we be? A lot of people say, well, let's get rid of diesels, let's get rid of all carbon, all internal combustion, and just go with electric. But we got to follow the science here. If we're gonna do this right, let's follow the science. And the science is that CARB just came out with a good study in the last month, California Air Resource Board, saying that biodiesel is 3 times better life cycle greenhouse gas emissions compared to electric. And like, wow, how could that be? But there's a lot of resources that go into making batteries and electric vehicles and the electricity that charges electric vehicles. So in Hawaii, the number is probably closer to 5. It might be more, 5 times better life cycle greenhouse gas emissions running biodiesel in a truck or car. So, let's not bypass the best and to go with what seems on the surface to be clean, which is electricity. We do need it all. We're going to need everything. The bad guys is fossil fuel. Let's get rid of the fossil fuel, but let's make sure that we keep all the options that we can. Right now, Pacific Biodiesel is making a lot of biodiesel in Hawaii, over 5.5 million gallons a year. And last year, we sold a lot of it to the utility. We made 80,000 megawatt hours of electricity with biodiesel last year in Hawaii. The utilities made it. We supplied the fuel. So that's a lot of electricity, and it's on peak or base load. I mean, this is a really nice fuel. That said, that's about all we can make with what we have in Hawaii. So we've got to get to the next level, which is growing more feedstock. And I will say that, while photovoltaic panels are a mechanical converter of solar energy to electricity, we use the biological path, which is those sunflowers that you were looking at the other last year. Spectacular converters of solar energy to oil, to liquid fuel. And we just clean it up a little bit, basically. So these biological based path to solar power is really good. We don't do a lot of it, or hardly any of it, in Hawaii. So that's the challenges. How do we stand up this new agriculture base and make sure that it's supporting food production as well as energy?
This is exciting, Bob. This is exciting because from the perspective of someone that kind of lives in the discussion of new emerging tech in the renewable energy world, I often ask myself, how does this compare to other options? And you just, articulated a pretty clear opinion on that. That's been backed up by a recent study you said by CARB. I can't wait to read that. So in terms of GHGs, overall life cycle GHGs, when we think there's a term called cradle to grave full analysis, right? And of these solutions that are emerging. And so on that one area right there seems to be clearly a strong value proposition. Anything that's a multiple is a strong value proposition. Now, in addition to that, there's a clear value proposition or a clear role in providing firm power, clean firm power. And that's an area that's limited by our in our current capabilities. So, and then that firm power, and then that really strong GHG value proposition kind of gets me to the question of, well, we're looking at 100% RPS in Hawaii, and the challenging area probably is on the tail end, the last 20%, right? And
Exactly.
So I wonder if you see biodiesel as playing a key role in that, and then also I do want to jump to this proposal of yours and better understand how Hawaii's economy could be diversified through agriculture in relationship to biodiesel production.
Well, you're certainly right. The last little bit's a hard one, because it's a difficult value proposition to have huge batteries that it's going to make it through that cloudy, windless week and still keep the lights on. So you need those batteries. You're going to need once a year or twice a year. It doesn't make any sense to invest the phenomenal amount of money into that. Biodiesel is a perfect fit. So biodiesel will last for several years without degrading. So you can store it up and use it whenever you want, when you need it. The goal is to use it as little as possible, because while it's there, it's also expensive, and you got to grow it. And so as what we don't want to do is say the island of Maui that uses 50 million gallons of diesel fuel a year for electricity. Trying to just wholesale replace that with biodiesel that's not a good proposition. But that last 10 or 20%, that's the spot. That's the sweet spot where we can make it. And remember, all the dollars that we spend on biodiesel, if we get our agriculture going and we get the feedstock grown here, that's basically, it's labor. Farming is about labor. So the land is there. You help the plants to grow, and so every week, every month, every year, those are jobs, growing crops, both for food and for energy. And I say food and energy because they just fit hand in hand. The really correct direction on this is to get farming happening, get farmers an income that they can survive, and then we're going to have farmers, and of course they're going to grow food for us, and they're going to grow energy as one of the products.
All right. Well, I think that's a great place to cap it off, Bob. This has been Bob King, President, Pacific Biodiesel. Visionary, I'm going to call you, because you've been at it for a while, and it could turn out that this is a key piece of the renewable energy transition for the state of Hawaii that's leading the country and the world. So thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your vision. Really great to have you on board the Solar Coaster here at Hawaii Energy Conference.
All right. Thanks for the time. Aloha.